Hi, I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. So it's Tuesday night, and I always like to hop on to Facebook Live. And tonight I want to talk to you about something that a lot of people are asking. You know, you try to get your decluttering going. You finally, are on track. You're on the right track. But then you've experienced the benefits of of decluttering, and you're also committed to living that simpler life with less. But you're looking for ways to refine and to improve the decluttering process so it's sustainable. So how can you crack the code of the clutter-free living? And are there ways to personalize and customize the process to make it easier and more manageable? And those are really valuable questions to ask yourself, because when you start integrating these proven decluttering hacks that I'm going to mention to you tonight into the existing decluttering process, you'll discover how surprisingly simple clutter-free living can be. So best of all, you can personalize it with these tips and tricks to suit your schedule, your personality, and your lifestyle, so that you can avoid the problem of recluttering after you've decluttered. So the number one hack to personalize your decluttering journey is to create habits that stick. Habits that work for you and help you solve your clutter problems. You know, it's your clutter, not someone else's, and you are unique to someone than someone else. So, an example would be of a habit would be making your bed every morning as you wake up. And then another one would be picking up your clothes and hanging them up, and then doing the dishes right after you've eaten. So these are habits that work. And if they work for you to help you declutter, then all the better. So good habits are essential to maintaining a clutter-free home. Even the small habits are powerful. So putting the toothpaste back in the cabinet or in the medicine cabinet as soon as you finish brushing your teeth, unpacking your suitcase when you return home from a trip. When you start to see the impact of these good habits and what the impact that they have in your life, you're going to be motivated to address some other habits that aren't so good as well. Number two is to have a plan to overcome roadblocks. You will get stopped, you will get stuck, and you might even want to quit. This is part of the journey. And knowing that you ultimately will face those roadblocks that could sideline you and prevent your progress, having a plan in place is critical for dealing with them. So it's important that you develop your own plan, because you're the one that's going to have to go through this and to deal with it. But here are a few suggestions about how to anticipate and deal with the roadblocks that you might encounter when decluttering. So the first one, of course, is overwhelm. There's so much stuff. It's going to take so much time. It's physically exhausting. These are some of the experiences of overwhelm. So how do you overcome those? You take a break, take a walk, get a glass of wine maybe, but clear your head. And then start on a small area and celebrate that you did something, as small as it might be. So, and be realistic about setting up future goals, because you want to make sure that you can accomplish something. And number two roadblock that you will encounter, I just was speaking to someone today about this, sentimental items. You never know what might trigger those tears or the sadness or the joy or the upset. But when you do, how do you overcome that, those emotions that will occur? So one thing, and I've got this in my website, you're welcome to grab it or email me at ritawilkins@ritawilkins.com, and I'll be glad to have it sent to you. Hold that item in your hand. So for me, it was my dad's alarm clock, one of those little $1.99 alarm clocks that you could hear him winding it to get up in the morning to provide for our family. That alarm clock, as inexpensive as it was, it made me cry. So what I kind of learned was that you hold it in your hand and you feel all of those emotions, which were tears of joy actually, and pride, and kind of makes me cry right now. So you recall those memories and the people associated with them, take a picture of it, write a story about it, so that you'll be able to appreciate the memory of that person, you know, as you let it go, because obviously you can't hold on to everything. One person reached out to me today about downsizing and decluttering a parent's home, a very emotional part of the journey. And, you know, so even if you're working on someone else's house, I think these decluttering hacks will help you. So a third experience that you will have in terms of roadblocks will be guilt. And we have all experienced guilt over, you know, maybe buying too much, buying something very expensive that was kind of a waste of money. We've also experienced the guilt over receiving a gift from someone that we love that you don't like, you've never used, so it sits in the basement. This goes for inherited items as well. So the furniture that you don't want, you don't like, or you don't have any need for, how do you overcome that guilt when decluttering? And so remember that it was a gift, and you can basically do whatever you want because it is a gift. And then, you know, another thought would be to give it to someone who would need it, or donate it to someone who can afford it. So a number 3 hack in terms of, you know, how to customize your own decluttering journey is know the time of day and week that works best for you, for your schedule and for your personality. Those of you that have been listening know that I'm a morning person, so 5 a.m. in the morning is a perfect time for me to start decluttering. So getting up 30 minutes early on the day that you want to declutter, to work on a pre-designated area. So that's if you're a morning person. Conversely, if you're a night owl, use some of that time to declutter before you go to bed at night. And then if you are a rainy day person, which once in a while a good rainy day, and we had a rainy week last week, so I got a lot of decluttering done, plan a decluttering blitz. And these are some of those things that you can customize according to your personality and your likes and dislikes. Number 4, if you feel the urge to declutter and get organized, don't resist. So it's almost like you get motivated out of nowhere. And so sometimes that urge comes so unexpectedly. So go with the flow, use that energy and that drive and motivation to declutter and organize in that moment any of the areas that you've been putting off. So it might be a really good area to, you know, one that you just have been avoiding. But anyway, don't resist that urge, just go for it. And number 5, if you like checklists, and many people love checklists, use checklists. So they help you declutter. Some people thrive on checking things off a list. I know I do. And it makes them feel motivated and accomplished because you see that little check mark and then you've done that. So I do have a home decluttering checklist on my website. You're welcome to that as well. The website is Rita Wilkins at ritawilkins.com. And if you can't find it, then just email me at ritawilkins at ritawilkins.com. So if you are trying to use checklists, it's a visual reminder of all the things that might need to be done, but it's also one of those things that you can control. You don't have to do it all at one time. But if you've checked off 3 of the 6 or 8 items, it feels good to see that little check mark. So number 6, in terms of hacks to help you customize your decluttering journey, if you like deadlines, create deadlines for decluttering certain areas. So I happen to love deadlines, and in my work world, I never miss a deadline. So set something that's realistic. So if it's a big project, set something that's realistic, maybe for 30 days. And then create weekly goals and milestones, and then celebrate and acknowledge your win when you've accomplished that goal. And then if it's a smaller project, set a timer for 10, 30, 50 minutes, whatever it is, and then go. Take before and after pictures so that you can remind yourself of how far you've come. And number 7 is to establish rituals with decluttering. Now that sounds like kind of a funny word, but if you set a time and a place each week or each month that you will declutter a certain area, that ritual, it really does help, because it helps you not get overwhelmed, and it helps you to keep up with things. An example, for me, every Friday I love to clean out my car. And as a designer, it gets kind of messy. So it has become a ritual, and if I don't clean it out on a Friday, it just doesn't feel the same. So that's a ritual for me. So another one would be to declutter and organize your pantry. If you have a big family, maybe once a week. If it's just you, then maybe once a month. But that could become a ritual so that you can maintain organization, and then also not be overbuying things that you don't necessarily need. And then another ritual could be decluttering and arranging your clothes closet either once a quarter, seasonally. And that certainly helps to, keep your closet fresh, and it's an opportunity for you to declutter the things that you haven't worn or you don't like, they don't fit, whatever. And then another type of ritual would be to delete the photos on your phone or the unused apps, once a month. These really do build up, and it is a form of decluttering, and one that you can customize yourself. So for me, I have a lot of photos on there, and it's just not even necessary. So why do I take 5 photos when I really only need 1? But that is something that I try to train myself on. It's not a habit that I've fully established yet, but when you establish rituals for decluttering those areas, it's going to help you. So these routines and the rituals help maintain areas that could easily get out of hand. They could easily build up and become overwhelming. So establish your own rituals for decluttering certain areas of your home or your life. So try these 7 hacks, and I'd love to hear from you. I always do love hearing from you. The feedback I get is just amazing, and I have to tell you, you are the reason I do this. I don't get paid to do this. I just happen to love it because I think it's making a difference. So please reach out to me anytime, Rita Wilkins at ritawilkins.com. Go to my website. There's all kinds of free resources there. And good luck. I'd love to hear back from you about which one of these hacks was very helpful to you. And also create your own. I'd love to hear what they are. Take care.